So what is your history with Deep Blue Sea then, Norbert?
Oh yeah.
So, 1999, I go see Deep Blue Sea in the theater, and it's just one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my entire life. Shark movies have always been a thing. I am one of the few people on Earth that will watch every single movie in the Jaws quadrilogy and enjoy them all, with or without scotch. I like the fact that Michael Caine is there with that old lady, and she's like, the shark remembers me, even though technically every single shark has died at the end of the movie. There's no way the shark can remember you. I'm all about it because sharks are just like the aliens from Alien. They just do what they do. You know, they eat you, and that's just the way it is. They're beautiful, they're deadly, they're graceful, and now, you know, you've taken nature's greatest killing machine and you've given it will and desire. How can you sign me up? I'm ready.
And they're gliding monsters. And also, Norbert, I know I'm sorry if I'm telling you what you already know, but mako sharks are one of the smartest sharks on the planet. They have the largest brain to body ratio. They are warm-blooded. They're some of the fastest sharks, and they've been known to hunt in very specific ways that other sharks don't. They show intelligence that most sharks can't. And they're in aquatica because mako sharks can't be in captivity. Once they're in captivity, they'll die. So they're out in this facility with mako sharks to keep them alive.
Ah, man. And these mako sharks can also swim backwards, which is impossible.
And recognize
Sharks
guns.
can't swim backwards. And they recognize guns. Yeah. Wow.
Spoiler for future weeks.
My goal, Norbert, is that at the end of this episode, your mind is so blown that you walk around like that guy from Love Actually. After Keira Knightley sees that tape that he filmed everything, and he's all stressed around, walking around and acting confused. And
Andrew
I want you to
Lincoln,
be, Andrew Lincoln. I want you to be walking around Korea, just mind blown, walking like 10 feet, walking back 10 feet, putting your hand on your head, just with a nice sweater, just freaking out, man.
If there's a better way I could be mind blown than compared to a guy who basically stalked a chick, I'll take that. No, I'm just kidding. No, listen, your theories of the sentient and plotting even further than I thought shark, mind blowing. They really are. We do get also a little piece of the classic, we have to cure Alzheimer's, you know? Because Alzheimer's, when they're trying to cure Alzheimer's, it's like how the Saturday Night Live movies automatically guilt you into cheering for their ridiculous, stupid, idiot lead character because they're trying to save their grandma.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta be on their side. You know, I Am Legend, Will Smith destroys humanity. Well, he's just trying to cure cancer, man. I mean, come on, you understand that.
Good intentions.
You know, yeah, no big deal. You know, all the lives we'll save. Yeah, like us.
And Scoggins. And she must be big business because there are a lot of articles about. She keeps clippings of her trying to save her father in her office. So she must have been before this a really major force in the scientific community to have science. The newspaper on the top just says science.
Yeah, I'm guessing I don't think it's like the science newspaper. I guess the science section. But I thought the same thing. This is Science Weekly.
I love that though, that there's multiple articles and they're really long. So how do you think she got to where she was? Like, what's her journey to being covered on newspapers to be, about curing her father's Alzheimer's? What did she do beforehand?
Most likely there are acres of land with just thousands of dead animals with just tiny holes in their head from all the times that she practiced the brain for CC extraction. And so that alone will get you in the science journal. Like, what the heck is this chick doing?
It's like these dead giraffes with these giant brains.
I thought that a giraffe would be a better creature, and there's a 4-inch hole in the giraffe's head. It's just weird things that she's doing.
The brain was just too heavy for it to keep up that head.
Exactly. Exactly. So she started as a young child, boring holes into her Barbie dolls to see if she could cure Alzheimer's disease. And then, she moved on from Barbie to Cabbage Patch to her niece or whatever,
Wait, how long has her dad had Alzheimer's?
Well, it starts. There are hints. You get
Yeah,
tremors.
okay.
One day your dad takes you to the prom. Oh, Dad, I'm 35. What's going on? You know,
This is a very
your mom
depressing
went
conversation.
your mom went out for cigarettes 10 years ago. She never came back. Actually, she did. Are you okay, Dad? These types of things. Yeah.
Wow. All right, so since she's so far out at Aquatica, they've really sort of alienated her from the rest of the world to work on these 3 sharks. Do you think
Right.
she might have had another mishap by genetically modifying monkeys and it becomes like a Congo situation in LA and they're just running amok all over the place and they're like, okay, we got to get her out of here.
Maybe, yeah, that could explain why she's now out on the water. She had the trial with the monkeys, that didn't work, so now she was up north somewhere, tried something with an alligator, and so Lake Placid happened, and she went down to Brazil or wherever Anaconda was set and tried something with snakes, and now she's here, and now she's out in Aquatica with sharks. She's just
played games with the slugs and they became Slither. Yeah.
she's just ping-ponging all around the horror movie animals of the world.
Causing
Yeah.
Giant
chaos?
ants, giant rabbits, that kind of thing.
Well,
Wow.
you could posit that Will from Planet of the Apes picked up her research where she left off, and oops, created the simian flu.
How many
Don't
things is she
kill
responsible for?
She's the worst, man.
She did some modifying on a plant, and then Little Shop of Horrors happened.
Yeah.
Wait. The Happening. She was responsible for The Happening.
It's a sequel to Little Shop of Horrors, isn't it?
The plants got so tired of her that they just tried to kill her, but it went wrong and half the population got wiped out.
She's like, Carter, and then ominous breeze,
One more thing I do like about this. So we've been talking about this, Norbert, about how Janice Higgins should get an Academy Award for her expository dialogue.
This is
She
the
does
third
so much
chapter in a row.
just dropping naturalistic expository dialogue. But she's right when she says she don't get many mistakes down here. I mean, she's not messing around. And they make one mistake. Well, Whitlock makes one mistake. And it all just goes, to the bottom. Oh, brother.
Whose fault was it that the shark wakes up? And to go further with your super self-aware sharks, was the shark ever really asleep?
That's the thing. The sharks are too smart. Collectively, they've underestimated the intelligence of these sharks. They didn't fathom that the sharks would pretend to be more sedated than they are. So
Exactly.
Maybe the sharks are so advanced they can kind of control their own heartbeat, or what how some people can lie without setting off a lie detector. The shark can do something along those lines without setting off any machinery. So it looks like they're sedated, but they actually aren't. So if you're looking to blame someone, it's going to be tricky because they just. It's Susan and Jim for making super smart sharks and not telling anyone else. Because maybe if they had done, then Carter would have said, "Wait, hang on a minute. That means that they can now they can regulate their breathing or something."
Exactly. If that shark can look in the window and identify the disk that contains all the data on their creation and how to stop or to help them grow and become more, then that shark can clearly be like, okay, watch, I'm totally going to bite this dude's arm off because he thinks I'm sleeping. Moo-ha-ha. Shirley's going to love this when I get back in the tank, baby.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
All right. So how does Carter dose the Gen 2 with the serum? Does he just shoot it?
That's his normal tactic.
That was it. Yeah. He just shoots things.
Yeah, that's what he does.
So he
Yeah,
just shoot. Oh, wow.
He's got 3 moves, okay? Swim, shoot, and grasp. That's all he does.
Not necessarily in that order.
Not necessarily, exactly. And the thing that makes him an expert in the top of his field is that he knows when to do each one, So, is this the time to grab the shark? Nope. I'm going to do the Hadouken.
No, I'm not in the water. I should shoot it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Can't grab a shark if you're not in the water. That's rule 1.
Right. Should I swim? Again, not in the water.
Not yet. Do I have a gun? No, can't shoot.
Okay, so grab.
Isn't it? We don't know. He knows, but we don't know.
Exactly. That's why he's the expert.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're podcasting about it, and he's doing it.
Thank you, Jay.
Those who can't podcast.
If you're listening to this, I want if anybody out there is good with Photoshop or art, I want a shoot what, swim or grab?
Love, live, laugh. Oh, sorry, live, laugh, love. But
Yeah, shoot, swim, or grab, man. He's got 3 moves. Okay, he's got 3 moves, and he utilizes them effectively. And towards the end of the movie, he gets a chance to actually just grab for a while.
yeah,
Right?
Yeah, he gets taken on a tour of the facility.
Yeah.
and then he grabs something else, and that's what saves his life.
Wow.
Well, yeah, there we go.
I think we have a title to this episode. Now,
Norbert 1, Mark 0. There it is.
Hey, no, that's why I bring you in. I'm the John Stockton. You're the Karl Malone, man. I assist you and you dunk it, and then you elbow someone in the face.
Like a shark fin.
That's my NBA Jam team, by the way. NBA Jam, yeah, that's who I always use, man. The Utah Jazz.
They were awesome. Yeah.
But they also, does he go underwater and dart it? Does he call for it to come to the top? Is he saying how's he dosing this thing?
My guess would be when it's like feeding time. That's when they tend, or like when you know where the shark's going to be when you feed it. But then we see feeding soon, and that happens underwater. That's a good question. Maybe when they brought it back. Oh no, because it would have been it had to be when Susan was having the meeting with Ronnie Cox, which was after the shark escape. So I have no idea. When would you? He just jumps in the water and stabs it. I don't know.
The example that we're given is that he gets to crawl through the terrifying cage of claustrophobia, and then they come out and notice him, and then that's when they recognize the gun, when he pulls the gun on them.
Yeah.
And then he tricks them. But before that, it seemed like he would just go into the terrifying tunnel of claustrophobia and just shoot, because he had that choice.
Yeah.
So these poor sharks are just getting tagged every now and again.
Right. But this time they realize, you know what? F around and find out. And that's what happened. He got him.
Wow. And okay, so I like that they move on to this trope. When Susan says that we're 2 months early, Jim says we're 2 months early. We need 3 more preliminary trials. But I think they do a good job of getting us there. The shark escaped. It made national headlines. Chimera Pharmaceuticals is thinking about pulling the plug. Russell Franklin is there to supervise, and they just need to do it. That seems like a kind of an organic thing, right?
It works, except for there's no repercussions for doing the test early. It works. So, I mean, Jim's saying they're skipping 3 rounds of preliminary tests, but it turns out they didn't need them, because they run the test and it's successful.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so the film is saying, don't worry about testing. Don't worry about practice. Just go ahead and do it. It'll be fine. Yes, other things happen after that point that don't go to plan, but the testing worked.
Wait.
Yeah.
Guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Hear me out. This serum makes sharks incredibly smart. And then in Rise of the Planet of the Apes, there's that gas serum that makes the apes really smart.
Well, this isn't really a serum, though, that makes them smart. It's the genetic engineering.
Yeah.
There was no... The serum is actually what they take from the shark's brains to put on the dead cells afflicted with Alzheimer's.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I watched this movie 1,000 times, friend.
Dang it, Norbert.
My bad.
So what is that shark that she's testing on in her lab? I know it's introduced to give us a good gag later where it floats up and scares us. So it's a nice Chekhov's fake shark. But what is she testing on? Is she practicing?
I think she's just running through. This is what we're going to do. This is roughly in the shark's head where the protein we need to extract is. She's just she's going to have done this 1,000 times, but this is the morning of the test or the day before. Just one last run through. This is what I'm going to do.
Exactly. Like we previously established, there are graveyards full of just dead animals with tiny holes in their head that she's practiced this on.
Yeah.
You can't bring a test giraffe to the 3rd sublevel of Aquatica, man. You got to have the little My Little Pony doll to practice your stabbing on.
So is this a fake shark, or is this one of the previous ones that she's used and then taxidermied and turned into a model? No, it's a fake.
A baby shark?
That was the first one she killed.
Yes.
Shark is actually quite delicious, non sequitur.
Oh, no. Yeah, shark bake.
Ooh-ha-ha.
Is that what you had? Fulton Street in Brooklyn, back in the day, you used to be able to go into the fish shop. And there was one time I'll never forget where they had the fish on ice and it was actually just laying there, just That's how fresh it was.
Jesus.
It was still alive.